Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for XRL to return with the Dev League here at Untitled in Montreal, Canada. I'm your host for today, it's St. Lear 13. I'm being joined by XRL Torpedo. Torpedo, I said it before we started the broadcast, and I'll say it again. It's very interesting being with you on a Saturday rather than a Sunday. Anyways, we got an interesting race to look forward to today with new drivers and veterans alike. What can we expect here at Montreal?
Probably a lot of carnage, which probably will be for most races with Dev, which should be entertaining for us to watch.
Indeed, you bring up an excellent set of points. One topic that has been very big throughout XRL has been the fact that, let's face it, F1 2021 has been kind of rushed out the door. The last few games have not been the most stable of platforms, but this one, there seems to be many and numerous issues that continue to affect drivers and lobbies themselves. Last week, no, actually it wasn't last week, it was the week before last week, Dev actually had to cancel and postpone their race at Monaco simply because the game was so utterly broken, and a very large number of drivers at X3 did the same thing in their Monaco race. We've seen races where 10 or fewer drivers are actually running at the finish simply because they're not able to keep their cars on track running to the end of the event. As we're beginning to ready up for the event, now we turn our focus to Canada, which is one of the three fastest tracks on the current Formula 1 calendar. It's up there with Monza and Spa. Here, I think the big question first is going to be, what is the ideal aerodynamic setup to have for this race? But also, can you actually keep control of the car through the various curbs that are at the end of these long-ass straightaways under heavy braking?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Also, it's the final two corners. You got to nail that right and not get a warning for exceeding track limits, which I think we'll see a lot of penalties come from that. And also, you got the infamous Wall of Champions.
Yes, the Wall of Champions. Going back to 1999, while leading the race and leading the points, Michael Schumacher would have an instant at the Wall of Champions that would end his run for that victory, and although he would further kill his championship hopes after breaking his leg at Silverstone, it would pretty much put a stop to his hope for a championship that season. Not to mention, he would also be joined on that section of the track by Damon Hill and Jacques Villeneuve in that same race. So, very, very difficult. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Very difficult final corner here at Montreal.
Yeah, indeed.
Alright, here we are, loading up onto the circuit. 17 drivers have shown up thus far. There may be a few more joining, but I wouldn't put too much hope or faith into that. I always like to be pleasantly surprised when that does happen, though. Sunny qualifying session here with 17 drivers. I'll be interested to see who the first person is to try and get out there and start turning laps.
I think we've got one.
Yep.
Williams of Collyboy.
I won't get too far into any spoilers for those who have not seen it yet, but very interesting run in Formula 1 qualifying today. I think Collyboy is feeling the luck from the Williams and wants to go ahead and try and prove what he can do in that same equipment here at Montreal on much more favorable track circumstances. But again, this is Dev. Here, all the cars' performance are made equal, or about as equal as you can possibly do in this game. I'm not fully convinced they're 100% equal due to issues with the game myself, but Collyboy currently running through some of the chicanes throughout Sector 2, now on the rundown into Sector 3. This is a section right here where Robert Kubica has had his massive crash back in 2007, where the car got airborne, had a wheel ripped off by one of the safety vehicles, slammed the wall, then bounced right across the track, rolled over before coming to a rest on its side back on the outside wall, and thankfully he was able to walk away from that incident.
And then he went on to win it the next year.
And was actually an outside threat for the championship in 2008 until the team decided to stop developing the car. Oh, wow. Holly, right out on track. on track just as the Red Bull started to merge onto the circuit. I believe that is Ali. No, it's not Ali.
No,
That is
it's
ITZ.
Yeah. I think
Also on
we
track right
saw
now.
someone else join. I think that was Trey. He'll be needing to pick his car.
Alright, well, coming down that final straightaway, not really a backstretch, but has a lot of properties of a backstretch, is X hits the spot in the Haas. We're going to go silent and ride on board with a full lap on board the Haas to see. Oh, and he's invalidated the lap just as he crossed the chicanes. That's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Torpedo. And the worst part is, it was late enough in the outlap that makes this lap that he's on now completely invalid.
And I just got word that it's all dry, so dry race as well.
Alright, Collie Boy in the Williams goes up to the top with a 110.029. Right now, Herbinator is going to join him with a 111.515 in the Alfa Romeo. ITZ invalidated the first lap. No, he's just started his first lap, I'm sorry.
Raptor's the next one. Weirdly enough though, Fable is fitted on the mediums and Trey in the Alfa Romeo is there on the timing sheet, so it's 18 drivers now. We have Raptor up to the line, 1 minute 10.8, or 8.2 seconds. Oh.
ITZ now coming down on the run into the hairpin. Oh, and the Williams, that would be Collie Boy. Collie Boy's had an accident on his outlap. The entire front wing's been ripped off the car. Alright, here comes ITZ through the final chicane and past the World Champions. He keeps it clean. Didn't maximize the exit, but he's clean. And at the line, it was a lap time of 1:15.669. Not a very competitive time in the slightest.
I think the final chicane really cost them the most time. Out of that lap.
Is that Gusty? Yes, Gusty has had it. I don't know if he spun or if he... Oh, okay.
He's just getting it.
Now we're going to... Alright, well now, we tried doing it earlier with X hits the spot. We weren't able to. So now we're going to try and go silent and ride on board with a full lap. On board with HSR Meatbury as he begins his flying lap in the Alpine. Oh my goodness, Raptor! With an off, and then Meatbury had to abort and hit the inside wall to avoid the Mercedes.
Oh, and he was like top of the timesheet as well. That's him out of qualifying.
And there's been incidents all over the track all of a sudden. Gusty has just invalidated the lap he was on. There was something that happened on the second back straightaway that I wasn't able to see. I believe involved levels, not BCM, but his teammate TIR Flavor. Wow,
Yeah.
all of a sudden everything just went completely topsy-turvy here. Gusty now on another flying lap, trying to see if he can make something happen in the Haas. His teammate X hits the spot, finally got a clean lap in with a 1:10.575. Which is the second fastest time thus far, third fastest if you want to include Raptors. Let's go ahead and try and get XRL Raptor in here to see what he has to say that took him out so fine here.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll invite them in.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, and coming into the party now is XRL Raptor. Raptor, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's an absolute travesty to see you out, especially when you had set the fastest time, still the fastest time of the session. What happened that took you out after you put down that monster lap?
It's actually extremely embarrassing. I had gone into the menus to dial down my ERS so I could just do my cooldown lap. Didn't realize where I was on track. Caught the curb, got shunted in off of turn 3 into the barrier, and that, as we say, is all she wrote. I'm very disappointed with myself right now because I had my first 2 qualifying laps were really smooth. Had gotten up a second up on my lap. My second run through had set the fastest lap for pole, and then we have this unfortunate situation. So hopefully that's not going to be a bellwether for how my race is going to go today. Just have to reorient, readjust, and get back into the swing of things. I'm still looking for a good performance today.
All right, Raptor, well, it's very plain that you have very good single lap pace, considering the incredible lap times you set. Do you think you can convert that into race pace and make your way back up into the podium positions?
100%. I had what I feel is a very solid run in XNA Wednesday, despite some issues I had with the medium tire compound Wednesday night that took me out of the race. But I think I've been able to adjust since then. I just need to cut the little mistakes out, and hopefully I can have a good run today.
All right, well, your teammate CVTX Max has just taken the fastest time of the day with 109.207s. So, normally I like to say that the Mercedes don't seem to fit your handling characteristics, but it definitely seems that's not the case. I think that you have a good chance in the Mercedes, and I'll be looking forward to you charging up to the field to fight with your teammate in today's event.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I've dialed in a really good setup for this track. It's just a matter of translating that into the race, and we'll tell here shortly. All right, appreciate you bringing me in.
Right now I'm watching the Red Bull of Ali 89C2 as he's going to try across the line, set the best lap he can. At the line, it will be a time of 1:09.946. So the 1:10.
Meat bro.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Good job. Yeah, Meat Burl has just broken the 109 barrier. He is 6/10 faster, well, almost 6/10 faster than the next fastest driver, CVTX Max. So Meat Burl, who had to abort his first flying lap to avoid Raptor's damaged car, has now gone to the top with a 108.686.
XRL Zola on he's round the hairpin onto the back straight on his flying lap.
Retro, frequent commentator for the X1 division. He's just set a time of 1:10.849. That's enough to put him in 10th. Zola will go ahead. He'll cross the line, set a lap time, and he just barely beats Kinsey, 1:10.844.
Here comes Veloce in the other Aston Martin. Run down to the line, goes 8th for 1:10.474. Then the McLaren Evolution line is next, and he goes 13th from 11.272. So it's just the Alfa Romeo of Trey 9530 to set a lap.
An XR Raptor, considering he set such a blistering time, is going to create absolute havoc as we come to the end of the session, as Meat Burl has elected to retire from the session in pit lane. He feels that there's no need to continue pushing because his time is so fast, but he's automatically locked out of the next round because that car is total. So for drivers like Herbinator, Flavor, BC, and Trey, they either have to beat Raptor's time by a significant amount, or they have to jump way up the time sheets. You can't just go for Herb's time and say, oh yeah, this should get me in. You may actually have to aim for a much, much faster time, like the McLarens of Kinsey or Ocean Line, to actually try and lock yourself in to Sector 2. It's one of the weird intricacies of how qualifying in this game works.
Yeah.
Ooh, Trey very nearly into the Wall of Champions, but he's kept it clean, and at the line, he will set a lap time of 8 minutes and 39 seconds, apparently? It doesn't go on the board, but that's what the ticker said as he crossed it.
Says he's going again, but this time.
He has the ERS to do so, and there's no warning on the fuel light, so I believe this will be his lap. And it's nothing but clean track ahead of him right now. Although there is a Red Bull behind him that's closing in relatively quickly.
Yep. Oh! Lost the back end on the exit. Barely kept it. But he's still going.
Trey's teammate Herbinator only has a time of 1:11.353, so just the opposite of the Mercedes. It seems like the Alphas are having trouble. Oh, and he's actually got to move aside to let the Red Bull go by.
Okay.
But he will get a little bit of a draft in DRS going down the straight off of the Red Bull. Not going to be a massive amount, but will help to massage the loss in time a bit. At the line, it's not going to be a very fast time though. 1:14.161. That's 2 seconds off of Beastian's time, and not even close to the time of his teammate Herbinator. He still is at 83% ERS. He goes around and hard into the inside wall. He's kept the front axle on the car, but that will potentially end his run to try and get into Q2 because there's only 4 minutes left in the session.
Oh, Colin Boy's gone. Colin Boy's out.
Ooh! That's coming out of the Wall of Champions. And now Collie Boy and Raptor are both on the outside, so for drivers like TIR Flavor, Level 6 Beastian, they need to get their laps in now, because drivers like Raptor and Collie Boy won't go ahead and be able to go for another run. Gusty has retired from the session in the pit lane. He sees how dangerous the track is. He is not going to push any harder.
I think we only have 13 cars for Q2.
If Trey can get in pit lane and repair the front wing and get out in time, he still has a chance to make it into Q2. Honestly, if everyone here if Flavor, BC, and Trey all improve fast enough, it would be hard. It would be a lot of other drivers to go ahead and set fast laps. Also, we could still have a full 15-car grid for Q2, but we would need basically everyone from 7th on down to go out there and set way faster laps.
Yeah.
Beastian is on a lap now. Right now, he is 17th with the best time of 1:12.187. Can he improve? He's already in Sector 2, DRS open, and then slammed shut just as you get on the brakes for this really, really difficult chicane. He got just the edge of the tire into the grass, but due to the flaring of the tire, I don't think that's going to be an issue. He's up, but only by 0.2. Out of that hairpin now.
Down to the chicane. Slowed down a bit. But it's all good now, it's just that run down to the line for Beastian. Cross the line.
He's faster than his teammate, but he's still a good 0.4 off of Herbinator's time right now. Oh, and Herbinator! Herbinator's just gone off at the Wall of Champions! Herbinator! The car is destroyed at the Wall of Champions, or just a little bit past it. It's right in the middle of the racetrack at that, as the X hits the spot, has to take evasive maneuvers to avoid him. Now Zola's gonna have to do the same thing! Now we may only have 12 drivers going into Q2. TR Flavor has invalidated the lap lap he's in the middle of. Beastin is on another lap right now. But there's only about 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Beastin is apparently up by 7/10 this lap. This might be enough to get him over Ocean Lion into the next round of qualifying, but it's going to be extremely difficult for him. William Blau retires in the pits. At the line, Beastin, he's in! 111.036. Trey is on a lap right now. He's just started one. But there's only about 30 seconds left in the session. There are yellow flags all over the track right now. Ooh, Trey very nearly went off Sebastian Vettel style in that chicane, but he's still going, he's still good. He is 3 seconds off of TIR Flavor's time. He basically needs to improve by about 3 full seconds if he wants to compete with Ocean Lion and Beastin to get into the next round.
Lost the back end, but it looks good. I think Flavor's out easy in the pit lane. And checker flag is out, and there's yellow flags just everywhere now. Still, what's going on?
CVTX Mask is still on track, trying to improve on his lap times. As his X hits the spot, level 6 Beastin, who is on cooldown, and Zola, who is also on cooldown. All the focus right now is on Trey as he goes through the wall of champions. Ooh, comes really close, and he's into it, and he's knocked off the front wing, and that's gonna kill the lap. The car is not destroyed, but he is so slow that he is still going to be dead last in the race. Well, that was a chaotic session, and we need to still talk with Collie and Herbinator and Trey about that session.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get them all in here real quickly.
Yeah.
Well, the session is over. TIR Flavor has come to a stop. All right, and now coming into the party is Collie Boy. Collie Boy, you had set some... can you hear us, Collie Boy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Collie Boy, you set one of the best laps very early on in the session. Were one of the drivers to beat, and then you got completely taken out. Go ahead and elaborate what happened that took you out in Q1.
The World Champions. No, I get through the chicane fine, but I put the foot down too quick and lost control and just spun out of the wall. So end of Q1 for me, which is rubbish. But these things happen. I just need to stop getting on the foot, stop getting on the throttle so early.
Alright, I am a little bit curious. You already had a very good lap time, a time that, for all intents and purposes, you would have had no problem making it into Q2-4. What was the purpose that you had in going out for another lap? Were you trying to prove to yourself you could go faster? Were you trying to test something else out when it came to car setup? What was the purpose in trying to go for another fast lap?
I know that I can possibly get high 1.9s or break the 1.9. So I was trying to just set a faster lap. Obviously didn't work out.
Alright, well, it's a shame to see that. Now the other question is, you're going to be starting near the back of the field.
Yep.
Do you think you have the pace? We know you have single lap pace. Do you think you have the overall race pace to climb your way back up through the field and fight for podium position?
Fingers crossed. Anything can happen, you know what Canada's like. Couple of safety cars can completely change it around, so just need to make sure my strategy's okay and just getting on with my own race.
Alright, well, congratulations on saying an impressive time. It's a shame that it's not actually going to mean anything, but we will be looking forward to watching you try to fly up through the field in the grid today.
Cool. Right, I'll speak to you later then, guys. Alright?
Alright, have a good race, Collie Boy.
Cheers. Bye.
Alright, now once again, we're going to try and reach out to Herbinator and Trey, who both had significant incidents during their own qualifying runs. I'm going to try and invite them both in one more time.
I think there's something wrong with the lobby. Flavor's still going round the track and it's at like 001, like with time remaining, and it says he's on an outlap.
I think he may have run out of fuel or something, because my camera has been watching him and he's just stalled on the racetrack on my screen. So it also could be a case that the lobby host still needs to get the lobby going to the next session of qualifying. I know that's the thing. It's not. Oh, and there we are. TIR Flavor has just come to a stop on track with his left front tire gone. Like it's not there. It's not like it's been taken off in a crash damage. It's just failing to exist, apparently. Don't know what's going on there. And Trey's car is still continuing to circle the racetrack, even though he's not at the wheel and the front wing is completely gone. It's just still circling the track at about 110 miles an hour on only ERS power.
Yep. Yeah, Flavor's just left the session and now we're going again.
Alright, well, real quickly as we look at the drivers who will advance, it will be HSR Meatbur in the fastest time with the Alpine, then CVTX Mask in the Mercedes, Fable 521 in the Ferrari, ITZ in the Red Bull, Gusty in the Haas, Ali 89 in the Red Bull, Veloce in the Aston Martin, X hits the spot in the Haas, William Blau in the Ferrari, Zola in the Aston Martin, Kinsey Retro in the McLaren, Level 6 BC in the AlphaTauri, and Ocean Lion 08 in the McLaren. The drivers who will not advance into the next session will be XRL Raptor in the Mercedes, Collie Boy in the Williams, Herbinator in the Alpha, TIR Flavor in the AlphaTauri, and Trade 9530 in the other Alfa Romeo. As we as we begin to load up qualifying session 2 and set the grid between spots 10 and 13. Well, I mean 11 and 13. We were not able to get word with either Herbinator or Trey about what happened in their qualifying sessions, so I guess we'll let them deal with it and try and figure things out themselves. They're going to have a rough day trying to make their way up through the grid. Okay, Q2. As you said earlier, word is that all the qualifying sessions and the race itself will be dry. So now we get into the more interesting part of the session where we have to see who has the best tire strategy and who's willing to throw away a potential good tire strategy for today's race as well. We've seen many times drivers will have a good idea to go medium to soft or medium to hard or something. They qualify on the mediums, the time's not good enough to get them into Q3, and the last minutes of Q2, they throw their tire strategy away to get on the softs to try and get a better race start. As well, racing drivers take onto the track. So this session, at least in my opinion, is always the most interesting one to watch, to see drivers try to balance track position versus strategy.
Yep. William Blau is the first one out on the track on the softs in the Ferrari. So 3 cars will be eliminated this qualifying session unless people crash out.
Both Ferraris, Fable and William Blau made it into the session. Fable is still in pit lane with mediums equipped on the car. Right now, the benefit is very strongly in the favor of the medium tire compounds. Zola, Kinsey, Blau, and Ali 89 are the only drivers on softs, and all of them except for Ali are already on track. So they are committing very early to a soft tire run here. Blau beginning now his first flying lap. A little bit farther back, here comes Ali in the soft tire compound. He'll come out on track just behind his Red Bull teammate of ITZ. Those 2 cars are close enough that if ITZ and Ali want to, they can try and get a little bit of a DRS advantage off of each other going down the back straightaway.
Yeah. That also could be a thing. William Blau heading through Sector 2.
Ooh! That came really close to him sliding off circuit and into the wall trying to rejoin, but he was very smooth on his merging back onto the circuit. He's still good, still behind his Red Bull teammate, who is wide. Oh, wow, they very nearly made contact. What in the world was going on there? They did make contact at the front of the game. I didn't hear anything. I was right on board with Ali, and I heard nothing and saw nothing. But apparently, ITZ and Ali did make contact, and there may be penalties between those two.
I think it is, yeah, penalties.
ITZ says a time of 116.291. Meat Burl goes to the top. 109.063 on the medium tires. Ooh, Kinsey! What is going on with Kinsey? He waited until the last minute to start warming up the tires. When I say last minute, he didn't start warming up the tires, it seems, until he got into the front stretch, beginning his flying lap. He's still apparently trying to warm up the tires. And he's supposed to be on a flying lap right now. I don't know what the setup is on his car. What is he doing?
I don't know.
CVTX mask is... Go ahead.
Fable now coming through the final sector.
DRS is open. There is the Alpine of HSR and Meatball ahead of him on track, but so far ahead that he's not going to cause him factor in the 24 Ferrari's lap. Very, very quick coming out of the World Champions chicane, and at the line, Fable goes to third, 110.344, and that's on the medium tires, and he's still only about, what, a quarter of a second off of his teammate, Blau, who was on the sauce. So I think Fable has some good speed in that Ferrari right now.
Yeah.
Gusty is on a lap right now, but it's an invalid lap, so he's going to be trying and setting up for another flyer here as he comes out of the Wall of Champions. Doesn't take a lot of speed out of it, but he's going for a clean lap. Once we verify that, will be a clean lap as he now dives into turn 1. Ali is also in the middle of the lap, going down that, not really back straightaway. I keep wanting to say back straightaway, but down that first front straightaway, I guess. And now down the pit stretch, very nearly in the Wall of Champions, slings hard into the inside to avoid it. Second fastest time with a 110.034, but that's still almost a full second off of HSR's time on the mediums. I think no one is catching Meatball in today's race. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah.
Mask is beginning a lap, or he would have begun a lap, if not for the fact that this lap is already invalid. I'm not sure if he invalidated it going through the Wall of Champions. William Blau has retired in the pits, apparently. A very interesting decision. He retired very early in the session with a 110.127. Obviously, he understands the importance of making sure the car doesn't get ruined. We saw Collie Boy destroy his car by trying to go for a faster lap, but still very early in the session to decide to retire. There's no coming back from that. Alright, here comes Veloce as he is coming through the Wall of Champions chicane and will begin his flying lap now. He is on the opposite end of the circuit compared to his teammate XRL Zola, who is still in Sector 2, about to exit it on the run into the hairpin. So both Aston Martins did advance into qualifying session 2, and now they're both going to try and see if they can advance into Q3 on their own. They're not getting any drafting help off of each other. At Montreal, there are 3 significant straightaways here and plenty of, significant straights that aren't necessarily DRS zones that you can get a good run off of. Getting a good draft in qualifying can mean all the importance in advancing into the next round. I know this is a weird street circuit road course hybrid, but it's honestly much, much closer to a circuit like Monza or Spa where you want to run very, very low aero simply because you spend so much time in a relatively straight line here. Here comes Veloce. Out of the wall champions. Oh, he touched it! He touched the wall! He's still on track, the car's not damaged, and he will set a time of 110.776, but he did brush the wall, and it wasn't a brief brush, he ran along down it for a good 2-3 meters before the car came off. So he could have gone significantly faster that lap. And here's something else, everybody on circuit, with the exception of ITZ, has medium tires currently equipped to their cars, and we're in the last 7 minutes of the session. Ocean Lion going out of that rounded corner in third sector, now on the run down to turn 3. Him and Zola are the only drivers in the middle of a flying lap right now. Gusty is on an out lap, coming on to the first of the 2 front straightaways. Veloce is still on track, but I believe he's on a cool-down lap. Ali is out there again, trying to improve on lap time. Ocean Lion has a purple sector 2 as he's in sector 3. So this McLaren looking to put a very competitive time down. Kenzie has set a time, but it's a 121.9, not even remotely close to a competitive time. Realistically, I'm going to be honest, Torpedo, only 6 drivers have set a truly competitive time. ITZ and Kenzie still have a lot of time to take off. And this is really, really late in the session to be setting times. And Ocean Lion just aboard the lap that he was on, which was an extremely competitive lap at that. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Really confusing.
Zola! Oh, he touched the wall! And he's into the grass, but he saved it! And it's still green! And at the line, Zola will go 110.580. So both Aston Martins just touching the wall of champions, but will be able to continue and see their cars turn another lap here. They are 6th and 7th on the timesheets right now.
Here comes Gusty. Down the main straight to the line. 10.644 puts him 7th.
Alright, so the Haas splits the 2 Aston Martins. Now it's just down to hits the spot, Ocean Lion and Beastian. Beastian is on an outlap. It's not valid, but again, outlaps don't count. The important thing for Beastian is that he doesn't invalidate or destroy the car going through the wall of champions so he can get a good run. He barely made it into Q2. If he wants any shot to make it into Q3, he needs to put down a massive lap and potentially get a little bit lucky. Kinsey Retro is in the middle of a lap right now. He is up by 7 seconds off of his prior lap. And ITZ is also on track right now. ITZ has the soft tire compounds currently equipped. His teammate Ali is at 110, almost a 110 flat. What can ITZ do on a faster tire compound? He hits the wall! He's still going, but he did hit the wall. And at the line, ITZ will set a lap time of 111. That's still not fast enough. He lost a bunch of time after hitting the wall. Kenzie Retro is still down on time, also with a 111.110. Beastian now beginning his flying lap here. We have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the session. If drivers are going to elect to come in and throw on soft tire compounds, they're going to have to do it now. Fable is in 3rd. CVTX Mass has gone up to 2nd. William Blau has slowly dropped down to 5th, and he's retired. He doesn't have a chance to defend the lap he's set thus far.
Yep.
As of now, ITZ is the driver on the bubble with X hits the spot, Ocean Lion, and level 6 Beastian all on the outside looking in.
X hits the spot and validated his lap. Well, it's out lap, I think, at the final 2 corners, so that's a shame.
Ocean Lion, who's just ahead of Beastian, needs to make sure he doesn't do the same thing. Beastian's just aboard the lap! Why?
He's in.
Why did he abort the lap? No, maybe he did not have the confidence in the medium tire compounds. So he may be coming in to throw on a set of softs. This is basically the last possible time you can wait until throwing on the softs.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a stack up in the Red Bull pits. Both Red Bulls are in pit lane at the same time. Ali is coming in. I think he's done for the session, but ITZ is trying to probably get more fuel and another set of tires on. But because of the stack up, I don't think there's going to be enough time for that Red Bull to get on track and set another lap. Ocean Lion in the McLaren is trying to go up against ITZ and his teammate Kinsey Retro to advance. Zola has retired from the session. He feels confident in his 110.580. I would not feel confident. Exits the spot, Ocean Lion, BC, and all are right there. They could easily, any of them, could set lap times and completely upend this entire session. BCN has elected to put on soft tire compounds, so he is definitely going to get out there one more time and set one crazy flying lap. The question is, will he? Oh, and Ocean Line invalidates in the Wall of Champions chicane.
And that's for the next up as well, so
It's
not a lot of time left to go round.
he needs to do everything he can. He needs to rush around the circuit as quickly as he can, but also save enough fuel and recharge the ERS so that way he can go full bore for one more lap. X hits the spot, is in the middle of a lap right now as well. And it's a very weird scenario because right now we only have 10 drivers with valid times. If things go wrong, I wouldn't bet on things going wrong, but if things go wrong, X hits the spot, Ocean Lion and BC, and none of those three might make it into the next session by simply not being able to set valid times.
Yeah, Kenzie's retired as well in the pit lane.
Kinsey seems very confident in a 111.110. ITZ, same thing. But for ITZ and Kinsey, they don't have another chance to get onto the racetrack, so there's not really anything they could do anyway.
Here
I don't
comes
think anyone
X hits the
who's...
spot.
He's in, and ITZ is out. Kinsey goes onto the bubble now. And I'm going to be 100% honest, I think anyone who's not in the top 6 in lap times, honestly, could get knocked out. Ocean Lion now beginning another lap.
BC, they both made it. The thing is,
22 seconds left. This is their only chance at doing this.
well, the thing is though, Ali 89 CZ, he's behind Ocean Lion, so he's in 4th as well. So I don't know what he's trying to do because he's comfortably through at the moment. So it's a bit of a weird call for the Red Bull driver.
Well, Ali's best time thus far has been set on soft tire compounds. He might be trying to go a little bit faster on the mediums using the draft off the McLaren to get a better time and be able to start the race on the medium tire compound rather than the softs.
Oh, nice camera angle there. So, right, down the back straight. Up is at DRS. The Red Bull will go around the outside, but the thing is that he needs to get clearly past for this to work. No, it's not, because he's backed out of it. He's up to Ocean Line,
comes into the pits.
Right, now this is the run down to the line. Ocean Line
Ocean
doesn't go
Line,
through.
not enough! BC will
goes
though.
through. Both McLarens out. And the gamble
That was
from
nutty.
Kinsey Retro and ITZ have not paid off, as they're both out in qualifying. And Gussie's just going slowly to the line, as he's safely through. So both Haas cars are through. And let's go out, and we're just waiting for the Haas to end.
And Beastian, a driver who was barely fast enough to make it into Q2, even with all the DNFs, has now been lucky and fortunate enough to make it into Q3. So, at least for one of the AlphaTauri drivers, a very, very fortunate run. They're going to get one of their guys near the front here. Oh, and ITZ, he did get that 5-spot grid penalty for the start of the race after contact with his teammate Ali 89CZ at the start of Q2. So ITZ is going to be starting not 13th, but 18th. I think that's going to be dead last in the event.
Yeah, it will be. And that's just the thing though, don't be that close with, that's a bad thing about being close to your teammate.
Alright, well the drivers who will advance will be X hits the spot in the Haas, level 6 BC in the AlphaTauri, who's going to be starting the race on softs, Gusty in the Haas, Zola in the Aston Martin, William Blau, who will be starting the race on softs also, Veloce in the Aston Martin, Ali 89 CZ in the Red Bull, who will be starting on the softs, Fable 521 in the Ferrari, CVTX Mass in the Mercedes, and HSR Meatburl in the Alpine. And the other thing I think is worth noting, Fable, CVTX Mass, and Meatburl, they are the only drivers to break the 110 barrier. All of them were within 109s, and they all did it on the medium tire compounds. So I think those three are going to be the main drivers to watch, and I'm going to be 100% honest, unless something really goes crazy, I think it's an easy lock for HSR Meatburl to get the pole for today's race.
Yes. Yeah, it will be. Because he's looked really quick this race. Well, qualified sessions, so interesting to see what will happen in Q3 with this slot with these drivers. But I see CVTX Mask, he could be in the contention. Fable could probably be in contention. So like a lot of other drivers as well that could be in contention for the pole position.
Another thing that's going to be very interesting, though, when we get into the race itself, a lot of drivers who were not able to advance into Q2 are some of the fastest drivers we have based on the lap times they did set. Drivers like XRL Raptor and Collie Boy, they're going to be starting near the very back of the pack. They're going to be starting almost in the rear rows. They're going to be trying to charge their way up through the field. So we're going to obviously see an interesting fight amongst the podium position drivers who will start on the top two rows. But we're also going to have to watch drivers trying to rush their way up through the field as fast as they can from the race start. This is right now could set up to be a very, very interesting race. Oh wow, that didn't take long at all. That's Meatburl, who is immediately trying to get onto the racetrack, but he will be beaten just a little bit by the Haas of XRL Gusty because the Haas's pit box is a little bit farther down the line. I'm going to be quiet once Meatburl begins his flying lap. I'm going to be quiet and just ride on board the Alpine for a flying lap because he's been absolutely outstanding. I'm very curious to see if we can kind of see how he's been saying these massive lap times together because he seems to have figured something out that many veterans within XRL haven't really been able to figure out. His times have been in a zip code pretty much all of their own. He's basically in Montreal while everyone else is out there in Vancouver. You know what, that's actually probably the cringiest thing I've ever said relating to geography puns. I'm never going to say something like that again. Alright, going to go silent and ride for a full lap on board with the Alpine of Meatburl here at Montreal. Out! And William Blau is out! William Blau has had an accident at the Wall of Champions! And it's going to be right in the middle of the racing line. Here comes Veloce. Veloce has enough room. He's going to be able to get by. Well, I'm not going to be able to ride on board with anyone for a flying lap today because every time I try to do that, something crazy happens. And now Fable, Williams' teammate, is going to go by him. One Ferrari is locked into no worse than 10th at least, but Fable needs to try and bring the second Ferrari to the best starting position possible. Oh, everyone is now either in the middle of a flying lap or is trying to set up for a flying lap. Zola is on the first of the two front straightaways right now. But the most important thing is going to be Meatburl, who is coming across the line. He will set the time that everyone will be gunning for. 108.384! I don't think anyone's touching that today. Exits the spot, and the Haas is currently in Sector 2 right now. His teammate Gusty is a little bit further back, still in Sector 1. Ali 89 has gone up to second, but it's over a second off. Ali just got a great time. over a second off. Veloce got a great time. He's even more than a second off. He's closer to a second and a quarter off of Meatball's time. Here comes Fable. He's invalidated his lap though, so he's gonna have to go for another run here. X hits the spot, will be the 4th driver to cross the line. Not a good run for X hits the spot at all. Meat Burrow coming into the pits. For all intents and purposes, I think we can call him the pole setter. I don't think anyone's catching that. Zola coming across the line. He will be the 5th driver to set a lap time, and it will be good enough for 4th, 111.054. He can go faster. I know he can. We've seen him go faster before. Fable on another lap right now. CVTX Mass has invalidated the lap he's on. Level 6 Beastian, who's been fortunate just to get into Q3, is in the middle of a lap right now. He is guaranteed, at worst, a 9th place starting position in this race. Oh, very nearly into the wall, but he kept it out. And at the line, he's going to set a lap time of 1:11.108. For now, that's good enough for 5th. Here comes Fable going through the World Champion chicane. His teammate wrecked out there earlier in this session, but he doesn't care. At the line, Fable will set a lap time of 1:09.496. That's good enough for 3rd for the Ferrari. CVTX Mask and Gusty have both abandoned their laps. They are both in pit lane right now. We'll try and go for another lap a little bit later. Exits the spot has come into pit lane. Level 6 Beastian is up on time by a good 3/10. So Beastian might have an even faster lap up the sleeve now. The problem though is that he has a fuel line flashing. There is no guarantee he will have fuel to be able to complete another flying lap and then come into the pits again. He's going for another lap. Beastian very, very quick through the World Champion chicane. At the line, despite having low fuel and a hard on the ERS, he will improve, but only to a 1:10.453, so he doesn't actually move up the grid any, but he does solidify his position over X hits the spot's current lap time. Gusty has come back onto the track to begin another outlap. Very near the rest of the Beastian. He probably saw Beastian a little sooner than we did, so it probably wasn't as much of an issue as I made it out to be. And CVTX Mask in the lone remaining Mercedes, he has silently made it into each session. This is his next chance. There's almost nothing but clean track ahead of him. He might have to deal with Beastian, as Beastian's going to be very low on fuel, but other than that, it's going to be clear track for him. Same with Gusty. Gusty and CVTX Max trying to be the 8th and 9th drivers to set lap times. Gusty coming very slow now on the run into the hairpin, trying to conserve ERS, conserve fuel, conserve the tires. He's going to start going very hard now, coming out of the hairpin. You want to maximize your run down the first of the front straightaways, and then try a straight line the World Champion chicane as much as you can, so you bring a lot of speed coming onto the start-finish line straight. You also though need to have a good enough handling car that you can come out of the World Champion chicane with a nice straight line. Gusty did not do that. The rear end kind of counter-rotated on him, but he mutilated that incident that happened, saved the car. He's now going on a flying lap, very, very smooth, coming out of turn 2, now on the run down to turn 3. Very straight, a little bit conservative, if anything, going through that chicane. Now he comes to the next one, 19.515 at the end of Sector 1, coming onto the backstretch now. A little bit of a curve straightaway here. You get a lot of speed here in these Formula 1 cars, nearly 199 miles an hour. At the end of it, the Haas, very, very rear happy right now. That rear is sliding all over the place, but he seems to have a relatively good control over it. 41.494 at the end of Sector 2, as we now see him go around the hairpin onto the first of the 2 front straightaways once more. The rear end is really all over the place, and he still has control of it. He cannot let it slip away from him, though, in the final corners here at the World Champions chicane. Coming down, the DRS slams close. He goes for one. Good, he invalidates, and the final corner, he invalidates on a flying lap. He's going to have to go again, and the worst part part is, he's gone through a bunch of ERS also, and there's no guarantee he's going to have enough fuel to do it again, and he may have to deal now with a more difficult track scenario when it comes to traffic. While I was focusing on him, CVTX Mask has gone up to second with a 109.041. Oh, fuck! I need to breathe. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cursed. I need to shut up a little more.
Zola's on a lap, I think, at the moment.
Alright, Ali89 C2 in the Red Bull currently has the third fastest time, and he's going for another round right now. Veloce is on an out lap, and Zola is on a flyer. One interesting thing is that X hits the spot. Neither of the Haas's they both made it into Q3, which is solid itself, but neither of them have been having a very good run in this session. X hits the spot coming down to the line. He might finally be able to set a good lap time here. Well, he beats Beastian. He's up to a 7th now, 109.862. Again, 109, here's the thing, 109s are relatively good, especially considering this is Dev. It's just that Meat Burl, and to a lesser extent, CVTX Mask, Fable, and Ali, they've all set such incredible times that 109s, which normally would be considered good for Dev, have been kind of underwhelming. The spread between the fastest and the slowest in today's race is going to be absolutely massive. Gusty has come into the pit lane, and I don't think there's going to be enough time for Gusty to get back out on track and set another flying lap. It's going to be close for him. Minute and 12 seconds, yeah. I don't know if Gusty's going to be able to make it into the start-finish line in time for another chance at this. Beastian has a 110.453, and with just a little bit over a minute left, there's no way that Beastian is going to be able to set another lap. Right now, if you're on track right now, the lap that you're on or the lap that you're going to start will be it.
Yep.
X hits the spot, has aborted his lap time, his next lap, so he will stick with the 109.862. Veloce has invalidated the lap he's in the middle of. He's going to have to try and get another run, but there's only 32 seconds left, and he's a long ways away from the end of this lap. I don't know if Veloce is going to get another chance at this. Zola has also invalidated the lap he's in, so Zola has no way of improving his time of a 109.543. Fable is in the middle of a lap, but it's a slow lap. I think he's cooling down right now. Meat Burl is in the middle of another lap. He's going to try and go even faster. Gusty made it. Gusty made it to the line. In fact, not only will he make it, Veloce did not make it. He missed it. He missed the start-finish line by the smallest of margins. Time's up. Over. Plow. So it's Gusty, Zola, Fable, and Meat Burl. And again, Zola's invalidated the lap. And it's a shame because he's apparently up by 5/10, but he's invalidated the lap he's in. And Fable is on a slow cooldown lap as well. So it's Meat Burl and Gusty. Actually, Meat Burl has come to a stop. He's backwards on track. Meat Burl has had a spin.
Oh, no.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, though, because Meat Burl already has the pole position locked up. Unless Gusty can pull something crazy out of that Haas in this last moment, I don't think anything could have touched Meat Burl. The fact that CVTX Mask even came within half a second of his time is impressive. All right, Gusty, final corners. Show us what that Haas has got. .109.491, a respectable lap time. But at the front, it's going to be this man here in the Alpine, Agasar Meat Burl. Dominated Q1, dominated Q2, easily taking the pole in Q3. Now he just needs to beat everyone else in the first 3 corners. He can try and dominate the race itself, William Blau crashed in his first lap in the Ferrari, so he will not set a time whatsoever. Level 6 BC in the AlphaTauri will start 9th. X Hicks' spot in the Haas will start 8th. The two Assens will start 6th and 7th. The Zola and Veloce. Gusty will start 5th in the Haas. Ali 89CZ will start 4th in the Red Bull. Fable 521 will start 3rd in the Ferrari. CVTX Max will start 2nd in the Mercedes. And HSR Meatbro will start 1st in the Alpine.
Oh.
Well, to everyone who's been watching thus far, it's been a very interesting qualifying session. We're going to be very interested to see how that turns into the race itself here. Alright, well, for now, we're going to be in a little bit of a standby until we can get into the race itself. So while we do this, let's go ahead and look at the standings, assuming they've been updated from the last race. They have not.
That's a good one.
Alright. Well, so much for that then. I guess we can't really look at the point standings. They've not been updated after last week's race at Baku. So. Alright, so it's just going to be a brief moment of standing by. 18 drivers should be taking to the grid today. I don't know if TIR Flavor is going to be racing because for whatever reason his presence was causing a lot of problems with shuttering session 1 and he left the lobby altogether. I don't know if he's going to get a chance to join back in and start the back of the grid or not. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Alright, so my question to you, what's going to be the ideal tire strategy for today's race? If you're starting on the mediums or starting on the softs, what do you want to do going from that point? Do you consider running the hards towards the end of today's race to try and minimize pit stops, or do you want to go soft, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, soft, or something like that?
I think probably medium hards, in my opinion, if you want to go like long game. And just minimize your pit stops, but if you're on the softs, well, for the start, you're gonna probably want it. You'll probably be doing like soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium. I think will be the strategy for these drivers.
Right, one other thing to take note of. Yeah, one other thing to take note of is that the track was very, very sunny at Q1. There's a little bit of a cloud cover that has covered the circuit since. So because of that, the track's ambient temperature is going to be a little bit lower. It's going to be a little bit harder to get the tires to get up to proper operating temp. Not something that the drivers can't deal with, but will have a small impact it will make you a little bit slower when you are completing a pit stop unless the track starts heating up again. Formula One Pirelli tires have a very, very high ideal operating window, and it's very hard sometimes to get them up to that window for any significant period of time.
And looks like we're about to go racing.
Right. Would you be willing to focus on the back of the grid as we get onto the race start?
Yes.
Alright. So now the question is, can the Alpine, which has dominated all of qualifying, go ahead and jump into an early lead here in the session? As the lights are coming on, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out, away we go here. That's a slow start for both CVTX Mass and HSR Meatburl. Here comes Fable. He looks to the inside, but he's not going to be able to capitalize. Meatburl easily is going to take the top spot. Fable makes a little bit of contact with CVTX Mass, makes a little bit of contact with Alley. He is dropping down the order slowly, and he may have to deal. Oh, and there's a Haas way up against Gussie, who's gone way hard into the outside wall. Trey has just made a huge dive on Raptor.
Trey.
Now Trey and Raptor have had an accident there in corners 5 and 6. There's a stack up. The 2 Aston Martins had a stack up, and now it's opened up everything to get chaotic going down the first of the 2 first straightaways here. William Lau is trying to recover from his accident. He's in 9th right now, looking to overtake X hits the spot, who is trying to get back by Herbinator, as Herbinator had a better run. Here comes the Ferrari. Does he make the move? He does not. He's actually going to come into the pits. Zola has just had an accident at the Wall of Champions. CNF of the day is the Aston Martin of Zola. But we are green at this point of the track. And just as I say that, they throw the virtual safety car. Just as I say we are green, they throw the virtual safety car. Thank you, Gabe.
Is that full course safety car now?
Well, for X hits the spot and William Blau, this will be great for them because assuming they'll be allowed to get past the safety car, which they should be able to, they will get to gather back up to the back of the grid.
I think Veloce hit Zola because he's running around with no front wing at the moment.
Gussie just got a time penalty for track violations. It's going to take a long time for the field to properly gather. X hits the spot, has just had an accident. Or not an accident, but a spin. Good thing it's under safety car, still have time to catch up to the back of the grid. Also, this shouldn't be too long of a safety car either. The entire field will be relatively close together. And the lap times are very quick and very focused on throttle here anyway, so everyone should be able to gather up together relatively quickly here.
Yeah.
Veloce and Raptor both coming into the pits to repair damage to their cars. Raptor needed to come up through the field from the back to the front. He's back in the back again. Well, the top 3, despite the fact that Fable had a great run into turn 1, then had to back way out and nearly lost a bunch of positions. The top three have not really changed, and Ali is still in fourth as well. Herbinator is the interesting one. He did not advance into the Q3 whatsoever. He didn't even come close to it, really. He didn't even get into Q2. But now Herb is up in fifth position. Now Collie has apparently had a collision with ITZ. And now Collie has a 5-second penalty leveraged against him. So as it stands right now, we should probably be seeing the field coming to the green starting lap 5. Because we're on lap 3 now, and the back of the grid hasn't quite caught, and the safety car is staying out for another lap. So we will run lap 4 under safety car conditions, and we have more drivers going ahead. They're going to lose time on track, but they're electing to come into the pits. That is ITZ who is coming in. They are repairing front wing damage, just swapping out that front wing altogether. So ITZ is going to go to the back now. One of their fastest drivers in qualifying now to the back. William Blau, also something went wrong there. They've come in and have equipped a set of medium tires on that Ferrari. So one Ferrari in the podium positions, one Ferrari in the back of the grid now. Alright, there's the word. Safety car will be coming in this lap. Also, something else of note, Ali, Herbinator, Level 6 BC, and TIR Flavor all on track, still on soft tire. Compounds! Fable has just spun out! Fable has just spun out of third position and has fallen to sixth! Will he be allowed to get his positions back? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. No, he's not getting his positions back. So now he's going to have to climb back into the grid. He was in third. He had been holding on relatively well to the third position, and now falls to the back. We are under green, and Meatbro really backed up the entire field. Now he opens up a massive gap on the entire grid. The back half of the field still hasn't really even gotten going. No one's really going until you get to 11 through 12. Herbinator has come into the pit lane. Flavor is very slow on the main straightaway as well. Now the field is going, but there's a massive amount of spread throughout the entire grid right now. ITZ is going to overtake X hits the spot near the back. TIR Flavor has just had an instant. He has almost totally run off the track. Raptor is now all the way up into the 12th position. Here comes Collie Boy. He's going to try and do something against Beastian here. Can't get it here, but there is this straightaway. You can get a great run and potentially outbreak someone at the chicane at the end here.
I think that's Flavor. Flavor just falling down to 16th. X hits the spot, and William Blau were somewhat having a battle.
Level 6 Beastian has gotten up to the 6th spot on the racetrack. He's trying to hold off Collie Boy for now. Woohoo! Both the Honda of Beastian and the Williams of Collie Boy very nearly straight line the World Championship game. Would have validated their last, but they saved it at the last moment. But they are compromising each other's lap time here, and it's letting drivers like Kinsey Retro and Fable get away from them. Blau and Exits the spot have both elected to come into pit lane. There must have been damage that the two of them took that I didn't see happen.
No, William Blau's is doing his drive through. But X hits the spots, is going on to the hard compound tyres. Meanwhile, Trey and Veloce were having a battle. Trey's been left out to dust, and now Raptor is having a piece of this battle in the Mercedes. He crashed out early in Q1. had to start from the from 13th on the grid. He's making his way up, and he gets past Trey for 11th place, and also ITZ goes down the inside into the hairpin and gets P12 off of Trey. So Trey's fallen down 2 positions in a couple of corners, and he's now 13th. Raptor now is going to have to chase down Veloce in 10th.
Ali has just come into pit lane, so Fable goes up to 3rd.
DRS is enabled now, so...
Oh no, Raptor goes around!
Raptor and
He
ITZ
saved
have
it!
gone. They've both gone.
Raptor has saved the car though, there is no real damage on that thing, but ITZ swung hard into the inside wall and tore the front wing to shreds in the process. How bad is the damage on ITZ's car? Well, we'll get a better camera angle shortly here. There is nothing left on that front wing. Here comes his teammate, Ali!
Oh.
Ali very nearly gets run off the track by his teammate. There is no team cohesion in the Honda Red Bull camp today.
And Watcher's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits.
Boy against level 6 BCN, who also has DRS on Kinsey Retro, so a little 3-way fight from 4th to 6th here. BCN has soft tire compounds, he's in the wall. BCN, he's kept the car alive, but he's in the wall, now loses the position with Collie Boy. And now Ocean Lion is coming up, so I think the soft tires have already started falling off significantly here on track. ITZ is coming to the pit, so he will repair that wing damage he took from avoiding Raptor now. Gusty has caught this battle. BCN's in the wall. BCN's in the wall. He's got back going again, but those tires are dead, and he needs to pit this lap. There's no way around it.
Yeah, he's gonna get him. He'll cost him like further damage to the car, and yeah, it's just the best thing now is just to pit this lap, get a fresh tire and a fresh front wing, and just try and come back from it.
Yeah, Veloce, Gusty, and Ocean Lion are all in a 3-way fight. DRS battle down the first of the 2 front straightaways. Gusty comes by. He's going to swing by the McLaren. They're going to be nearly side by side going into the Wall of Champions. Veloce is faster than both of them. He's got DRS on Ocean Lion side by side for the set position. And around the outside will go Veloce. The McLaren tries to fight back but can't make it stick.
And BCN is into the pit lane for a set of medium compact tyres.
A little bit farther up the grid, Collie Boy is in 5th, running behind Kinsey Retro. But Collie Boy has time penalties right now. Kinsey does not. And Collie seems to be having a lot of trouble. He's leaning hard into the ERS just to keep up with Kinsey, and he's still bombing a lot of these corners. Right now, it seems like Kinsey has the advantage as Collins just hit the outside wall coming out of the hairpin. There's no damage to the car, so he can keep going. But I think it's very clear that in dirty air, Collie Boy does not have what it takes to go up against the McLaren of Kinsey here. Collie's coming to the pits. Veloce has rebounded up into 6th. He's going to try and put some pressure on the Haas of Gusty on this lap now. Ocean Lion is also charging up to the field. He is in 7th and is closing on the Veloce Gusty battle right now. Trey from 9530 has just set the fastest lap of the day. Now, granted, he's doing it on soft tire compounds on everyone else is running medium or hard, so that is something to take note because he can stay on those softs for a little bit longer, potentially get up to 10th or even 9th position depending on how things go. Veloce right there behind Gussie, but can't do anything with them, and it's bringing Ocean Lion into the fray. Here comes Veloce, he's got a big run on Gussie, he goes to the inside! Are they gonna make contact? They do make contact! You can see, they made contact enough that Veloce got turned around and he made contact with Ocean Lion. But the Aston Martin is still on track, and I don't think, no, Ocean Lion got turned. So I didn't notice that at first, but Ocean Lion made contact with Veloce. It was on the rear tire, and it turned the McLaren all the way around, and he's basically a stalled chicane there, coming out of the World Champions corners, and now Ocean Lion falls all the way down to the 11th position. So we were riding on board with Gussie, and we saw Veloce throw it up to the inside of the Haas, going into the chicane. They made contact. The Haas got by without issue, although the driver threw up the hands like, what are you doing? Veloce got turned around. He didn't hit the wall, but while he was around, he ended up hitting Ocean Lion in the left rear tire, and that turned the McLaren around, and now the McLaren has lost the entire front wing. Level 6 Beastian is in 13th position, and he's playing focus on Raptor. Both these drivers are trying to recover from a bad start to this race! Wow, Beastian very nearly got right into the rear wing of him. Oh, and Fable is pitting. Fable is coming off of the racetrack. He is throwing on soft tire compounds, and he is coming back onto the track. He will fall to 5th. This promotes Kinsey now up to the 3rd position.
Here comes ITZ in the ball. His 16th, he'll get past Ocean Line because he's of the front wing damage that he's incurred. Up into P15, and Ocean Line's race is pretty much destroyed. Running high end of the points, and it's just been destroyed by an accident, and he'll be a lap down, I think, sure, at this point.
TIR flavor, despite starting the race with him not being properly connected. I think he's got connected now, and he is still on the lead lap somehow, although his pace is not very great, and he'll likely get overtaken by Meatball in the upcoming few laps. Raptor has a time penalty for track violations, as he has fallen off from Beastian. Beastian is charging upwards through the field, taking use of those relatively fresh medium tires. Trey is in a very frustrating position because he has these soft tire compounds on, but he's so far away. Oh, Gussie and Kinsey have just elected to pit simultaneously. Kinsey, who is in the podium positions, pitting now, so he's getting off the mediums. I wonder if he's decided to jump onto the hards or not. No, he's put on another set of mediums, so he's going to go medium, soft, I imagine, for this race. Kinsey is up right behind William Blau in 7th. Gussie will end up right a little bit behind Urbanator in 9th. Fable is in 4th, and he's putting pressure on Ali. This is the fight for the podium position. That wasn't even a fight. Ali didn't even try to put up a defense. He looked to maybe make an overtake on the comeback, and he's got a good run on the run down to the hairpin, but it's not good enough. I think the Ferrari's going to hold on
Trey's
to
gone.
it. Yes, he will.
Trey has gone. Pulls yellow flags and he's dropped down the order.
So the soft tires seem to die off in about 6 to 8 laps here. Oh, and Trey in the wall again. Gussie has just gotten by Urbanator going down the straight, and Kinsey has gotten by William Bow. So Kinsey on a tremendous drive right now, on 6th at the moment. He is likely to get back up to the 3rd position once the 3 drivers ahead of him all elect to pit.
Chain Ali 8 is got a 3-second time penalty for track limits.
Ali's in good company though. The drivers ahead and behind, directly ahead and directly behind him also have similar time penalties though. So although that will put him in a bad position compared to drivers like Kinsey Retro or CVTX Mask, it's not the end of the world for him. Trey is coming in the pits and he's throwing on the hards. I imagine he will run those hards until the race ends. Gusty is putting pressure on William Blau. Blau will have the advantage of using DRS to stay in the tire tracks of Kinsey Retro for this straight and the start-finish line pit straight, but Gusty is right there. He wants to get by this Williams as fast as possible. He is trying to recover. He's not going to be able to make it stick there. He thought of it for sure, but he could not make an overtake against Blau over the World Champions chicane. He's going to look for another potential move going into turn 1. Can't do it because Blau has the DRS against Kinsey, but Blau blows through the braking zone in turn 1. They're side by side for a 7th and 8th position. Who's it going to be on the run down to turn 3? On the outside is Gusty, and he's going to get it over William Blau.
Meanwhile, further back, X hits the spot, is catching up to the AlphaTauri of LV6 Beastian for 11th place right now. The Haas is on the hard compound tyre. He's been on that for 9 laps, while Beastian's on the mediums in for 6 laps, and he seems to be struggling, the AlphaTauri driver. So wouldn't be too long before we see the overtake from the Haas driver.
Fables just at the fastest lap time, 1:11.381. Gusty has just snuck by Kinsey Retro going down the back straight, the first front straightaway, and he did it at a point to where Kinsey can't get DRS on the following straight, so now William Blau is trying to hound Kinsey again.
Gets past before the final chicane on Beastian, and he's up at the P11s.
Well, that was weird. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
My controller just randomly disconnected and then reconnected.
Yeah, right. I can hear you, so it's fine.
ITZ World Champions crash. Safety car.
Oh.
This is good for me. No, it's not good for Meat Bro because he was not close enough to come into pit lane when that happened. And CVTX Max has already made his pit stop.
Yep.
So this is disastrous for HSR Meat Burl because it does. Oh, and now Collie Boy has to do a drive-through penalty for speed under the safety car. But for Meat Burl, this is horrible for him because now the entire field is going to get brought up to him, and the drivers right behind him, CVTX Mask, will have already have fresh tires on. Fable is pitting now, and he's going to get onto a different set of tires. Ali is pitting. Veloce is pitting. Gusty is going to stay out for now. Kinsey is going to stay out. William Blau is pitting. Herbinator is pitting. Collie Boy, is he going to stay or not? This is absolutely horrible for Meat Bro. It's the worst timing for this.
I think this is going to give, like, Trey and Flavor the opportunity, well, mainly Trey and Ocean Line the opportunity to catch back up to the field. Like, they're both a lap down, and I think it gives them that opportunity to unlap themselves and maybe get it back into the race. But
you do make an absolutely outstanding point there. Ocean Lion, right now, is he ahead of CVTX? No, I don't think so, because Ocean Lion and Trey are both behind CVTX Mask right now. Yeah. And CVTX Mask has already caught HSR, I was just about caught HSR Meat Burl. So yeah, I don't think it's going to work for them. I think those two are going to be trapped a lap down. I think Raptor might go a lap down also here, because he is still in pit lane.
Oh, Trey's gone into the pits. Like, Trey's just gone into the pits at the same time as Meat Burl.
Ocean Lion staying out and Meat Burl has come in. So CVTX Mask gets extremely fortunate with when he elected to come into the pit lane. Meat Burl is putting on the sauce, so he's going to be flying. The problem, though, for Meat Burl is that those sauce have not... Fable has just crashed out the World Champions!
Aww. Slow down. Yeah, car's going quick.
William Blau has just had to sit with Beastian as well there. Alright, real quick, do you think you can get ITZ or Fable into the booth?
Alright.
Yellow K is coming to the pits also now. This yellow flag has completely shaken up the entire grid. Maple hasn't fallen horribly through the grid. He's back there in fourth, but there is lap traffic though between CVTX Mask and the drivers ahead. Gusty is only the third driver in line right now, and CVTX Mask is now the race leader. That's Ocean Lion, who is second in line at the moment.
Thing is though, Ocean Lion's got to get out of the way quite quickly on the restart if he's still stuck behind CVTX Mask.
Big problem with that though is that there's not really a whole lot of places to do so. Oh, XRL Raptor is going to actually be on the lead lap still, and TIR Flavor is also still on the lead lap, despite the fact that Flavor continues to have no real pace. He's been just slow enough to avoid everyone else's incidents, but just fast enough to stay on the lead lap when the safety cars are coming through. So Flavor might back into a top 10 finish still by the race end. I'm not saying that will happen, but that is a possibility with how this race is going.
Yeah.
Collie Boy is coming into the pits now. So this will drop Collie Boy to 13th, I believe. And they are taking off the hard tire compounds he had and are putting on softs. So that set of hard tire compounds that Collie Boy had can be used a little bit later as scuff to get back up to speed quickly if he needs to get onto it. And Kinsey has just had a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ocean Lion. Those are teammates. And Ocean's a lap down, and yet Kinsey got the time penalty.
Something happened as well because Gusty's just got past him.
I think Ocean Lion was trying to move out of the way to let drivers get through, but did at a bad point, and Kinsey ended up hitting his teammate. Now I imagine, I don't even know if the collision actually happened. We'll see if Kinsey comes down pit lane, but if it didn't, I would hope that officials would elect to remove the time penalty from Kinsey. And it's a shame for Kinsey because Kinsey's been having an absolute fantastic run today, and there's the word, safety car will be coming in this lap.
Yeah. The thing is, he's got like 8 seconds of penalties, but then we got Gusty in second, who's on 9 at the moment, so...
And CVTX Mask has no penalties also.
Yeah.
Did something just happen to Beastian? Yeah, Beastian just had a spin. Beastian got sideways, had a spin, and now he's falling back to 10th. Coming out of the hairpin. That's the second time we've seen that happen today.
Oh, and Flavor's gone, Flavor's out.
Oh, and now Collie Boy's out. What in the world happened at the back of the field there? Now, how was that not a safety? I don't know. But something happened to TIR Flavor, and that car came to a dead stop, and then Collie Boy ran right into his back, and now both those drivers are out of the race. What happened?
Try and get them in, see what they have to say about that. Ocean Line, meanwhile, is just letting everyone pass, and he's just gone off the track just to let William blow back past, and now Collie Boy is into the party to discuss what happened on the restart.
Still a tire from your guy Zaxxon sitting on the front straightaway right now, so that could end up being an issue as this race goes on here. Oh, okay. Alright, so I want to make sure I understood what happened. So we saw level 6 Beastian have a bit of a swerve / spin coming out of the hairpin, and he was very slow. Collie Boy and Flavor, did that accident happen because you two were trying to avoid him?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I need to look at it. It was happening so fast. I was a bit like your man. I looked away at my thing, looked up, and it's there. It shouldn't have been there. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I saw it was just happening. I need to look at my captures, to be honest. But I don't think I could react. To be honest, I just don't think I had a chance to react. If I'm honest, no. I don't know if you hit me into him or I hit him and then you hit me, I'm not sure. You're accelerating, Beaston's accelerating. And all of a sudden, he just stops, now I hit him. I hit him, and you don't think you even hit me, to be honest. I don't think you even hit me, I hit him.
I know one of you guys also hit Raptor, because Raptor had to rush into the pits to repair significant
Raptor was
wind
right
damage
behind
as
me,
well.
but I don't know how far. But I was, yeah. It might have hit me, but I was already gone by then, if you like. You know what I mean? I was already retired.
Well, not only have your guys' accidents taken you guys out of the race, congratulations, you two successfully broke the game. The game cannot figure out who's supposed to be leading anymore again, so...
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I tried to avoid Beastie, and you can see me literally go to the right of him, but I hit him on my left tyre. That goes off completely. The tyre just pulls off completely, the wheel. So yeah, keep looking at it to be fair, but yeah, he could go around the bend, they're all accelerating. I can see 3 or 4 cars in front and they're all accelerating. Do not expect him to slow down. I'm only in 6th gear and I just miss it. And I go to turn left and it's just not enough. It'd be nice if he'd have realised and gone to the left maybe, because that's what I do in a similar situation. If I'm braking, I go to the left of the car, or if he'd have done that, I think I might have avoided him. But other than that, that's the best I can do. I can't avoid him, it's too quick. But my game was sort of done anyway because of the start and not being able to get in the lobby anyway.
Well, I will say, Flavor, the way it was going, it looked like you might have been able to back into a 9th or 10th position with how the drivers were slowly dropping out of the event, and you were still on the lead lap.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But it is what it is.
We'll be looking forward to you hopefully having a better run tonight during the XRL race.
Yeah, definitely. Especially around Australia. So it gives me time to get on and level practice, to be fair as well. So it's not all bad.
Alright.
But
well, thank you very much for sharing your opinion.
Truly, mate. Sorry, mate, but yeah. Nice one. You're welcome. Anytime.
Alright, and although he's already left, we do want to say thanks to Collie Boy as well for sharing his opinion on what happened there. Kind of helped us put everything together as we now begin putting our focus back onto the race on track. The ticker has finally sorted itself out, and Meatburl has gone from 4th up to 2nd on the soft tire compounds, and he is only 1.5 seconds off from CVTX Mask right now. The problem, though, is that the soft tire compounds fall off very quickly, and Meatburl may have to jump into the pits one more time to put on another set of softs before this race is over. And if he does that, he's going to lose a bunch of time again.
Meanwhile, Veloce is trying to move on Bishu to 10th place. On the soft, Veloce dives down that inside, cuts turn 1 slightly, but gets the move done up into 10th place. And now he's got to get Turbinator, who is in 9th.
X hits the spot, has caught Kenzie Retro, he goes around and hits the inside barrier! And hits the spot, who had no time penalties whatsoever, was in 7th, now spins, and he's still 7th. Raptor's not even close to him, and I don't know if there's any front wing damage to that car. No, there is a little bit of front wing damage to the car, but he is 7th, but is now fallen way off the back of the drivers ahead of him, so he's not going to get very many positions and maybe back to penalty comeback. In fact, he will have to come to the pit to repair damage to that car. Tremendously frustrating for him.
Yeah, indeed. Running in a good position, especially from where he started. Well, he started in 8th, so it was a good run for the house driver. So, and they were going to get some decent points in the constructors, but that accident just ruins the day for him.
William Blau is there in the 5th position, and he's trying to make something happen against Ali.
Beastian and X hits the spot, almost glided as the Haas came out of the pit lane.
Oh, and Beastian's way slow, and X will be side by side with him. They're still side by side, and the Haas just gets by.
Brilliant, that's a brilliant move there from the Haas driver. Getting up with the P9, now he's going to chase down Veloce on somewhat worn soft tyres.
Blau has a huge run on Ali for the 4th position, but couldn't make it stick down either of the 2 front straightaways, and it's not helping that the Red Bull is being very, very chaotic on the braking in the apex, and it's killing the momentum that the Ferrari is able to take through the corners. There's also the fight for the lead. Meatburl has caught CVTX Mask, but he's not had to overtake someone else for a lead all day today. Also, Meatburl has a time penalty. CVTX Mask does not. Meatburl, who has dominated most of this day, might have this race taken away from him. Dude, and someone else crashed, and I think that's
Trey.
That's not Herbinator.
Trey,
He's completely backwards. ERS so hard that it's now empty, so he can't make a move on Ali and Blau. Coming into the pits, the soft tires are dead for Blau, and now the question is, what about Meatburl? How much longer can he stay out there on the soft tires? He's already starting to fall off the CVTX Mask. I think the softs are dead. For Meatburl, the only thing he can do is come in and put on another set of soft tires. Gusty has pitted, Blau has pitted, Kinsey Retro has pitted as well, and he served his 5-second time penalty in the pits as well. I think Kinsey is only going to be able to walk out here with a 6, which is a shame because he honestly was on pace for a potential top 3 at one point in this event. Trey, 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane now. Nearly everybody except CVTX Mask now has a time penalty against them.
Meatball isn't back him, so he just needs to pull away if he gets past him.
But those tires are so worn, and the softs have not been able to last more than 9 laps out here. Meatburl's trying to make it stick, though. He's still behind the Mercedes. Oh, he looks to the inside. Is this going to be the move? He throws it up there. They made contact. They're still side by side through 2. Now on the run down to 3. CVTX Mask leaning very hard on the ERS on every short straightaway he can. He's got about 21% coming onto the backstretch, leaning hard into it, but he doesn't have DRS. Meatburl does. Does Meatburl make a move at the end of this straight? No, he does not. He keeps putting pressure on the Mercedes, though. CVTX Mask has almost no ERS by the time they get to the hairpin. He's able to recharge a bit, but only to about 13%. Meatburl has been saving his ERS. He's going to have a lot more ERS going down the main straightaway and DRS, but his tires are nearly totally cooked. Oh, he's got a huge run. Oh, he's got a huge run for the lead to the inside, neck and neck, and Meatburl is going to take the lead, and CVTX Mask is going to come into the pits, but Meatburl is going to have to come into the pits as well. Willie, I think Meatburl will have to come into the pits. There's no way he can make these softs, which haven't been able to last more than 9 laps all day, last for these remaining 6. And that could give the race win to Ali 89C2 if Ali doesn't have too many time penalties to harm him.
Meanwhile, further back, X hits the spot, is going to try and get past.
No, Ali has just spun out! Ali has just spun out, 2nd position! CVTX Mask and Meatburl. Can Meatburl stay out on these
spot? He's got the wing. And he's going to pit.
And that will promote Raptor up into 9th and might, depending on how quickly Beastian can get around here, Beastian might be able to get back into the points-paying positions. Mask has no time penalties. He's 16 seconds off from Meatburl. Meatburl has been the fastest driver all day. He needs to keep it on the track, because if he comes in the pits, his race is over. but those tires are going to be hurting. Those tires are going to continue to fall off for him. Oh, this is actually getting really, really intense for the win here.
Yep. There's only got to be like a 3-second gap for Meatball to win the race, and it's 15 right now, but it depends how quick CVTX Mask is on those softs, to be honest.
Well, Max can go balls to the wall with the tires. Meatball does not have that advantage. Again, we have not seen anyone go more than 9 laps on the softs without issue. To this point, Meatball is trying to do what no one else has been able to do. If Meatball has any instant, if the tires start deflating, if he hits the wall, if anything like that happens, Max catches him. Also, if Meatball starts racking up time penalties, not being able to keep the car on track, Max could get him there as well. The gap right now is 15.4 seconds, but Meatball has time penalties, Mask does not. Also, as we look at time penalties, oh my goodness. Gusty in third has 18 seconds worth of time penalties, and Ali in fourth has 15. So drivers like Blau and Kinsey might still get promoted into podium positions, possibly, depending on how the time penalties and distance between the drivers fall off. We're not going to know where anyone's going to finish until this race ends.
Also, like, one more penalty for Gusty, and that's it. DSQ for the race. Which could be a big shame for him because he's with him running in third. X hits the spot, is just behind the race leader, Meatball. I think he's just getting his 6th room.
He might be able to try and get by the Alpine to get back onto the lead lap, and if he does that, that will actually help the Alpine in one way because it will mean that the Alpine can be a little bit faster in some of the straights using DRS and draft, but will hurt him more in the faster high-speed corners throughout Sector 1 and 2. Oh, Meatball, you can see how wide that Alpine is, exiting the hairpin. The tires are not feeling good on the Alpine at all. The gap has only shrunk to a little bit less than 14 seconds. So as of now, if Meatball stays out there, he can still make this work. Meatball needs to be very careful because he's in the draft of the Haas. It's not somewhere where he's been most of the day. He's not had to worry about being in the draft. But he's still making it work for now. The gap has now gone down to 13.5 seconds. Meatball just needs to be 10 seconds ahead of CVTX Mask at the end of this race. There are no active battles on the racetrack right now. It's all coming down to who is managing the time penalties the best. CVTX Mask is leaning very hard on the ERS around the entire circuit, and it is working. He is closing on Meatball. The gap is only about 13 seconds out, less than 13 seconds. X hits the spot, has just got a time penalty for ignoring blue flag, but that doesn't make sense because X hits the spot is faster than Meatball. He's faster than him, but the game gave him a blue flag anyway. That's bullcrap. I'm going to say it's bullcrap. We very plainly saw that the Haas is faster than the race leader right now.
2 laps to go at the moment of this Grand Prix. Not much is happening in the midfield. In terms of race battles, it's just all down to penalties, like you said earlier. But the main thing is going on about is the race lead, who it's down between CVTX Mask and Meatball. But I think it's like Meatball's got it because it doesn't look like CVTX Mask is pushing.
BCN and Ocean Line have both pitted out of 11th and 12th position, so they're both going to try and go for fastest lap point, and Ocean Line is also going to serve part of his time penalties here as well. But this might let Trey sneak by Ocean Line in the final race results if he doesn't wreck going through the wall of championship game, which he very nearly did there. CVTX Mask has closed the gap to 11.4 seconds on Meatball. 2 to go.
I think Ocean Line and Trey might get lapped again, to be honest. At this point.
I'm not so sure about that. Trey maybe, but I don't think Ocean Line has to worry about it because Ocean Line is going to be extremely fast, and Meat Burl is just trying to nurse the tires.
Yeah.
If anything, Trey may have to worry about X hits the spot, putting him another lap down. X hits the spot, another time penalty though, as he runs behind Meat Burl. So X hits the spot is in a horrible position. He's faster than the guy ahead, but every time he gets ahead of the leader and get back on the lead lap, the game is throwing him blue flags. Even though he's faster, the game is still giving him blue flags. And that's also making things worse for the Alpine, who is leading the race, because he has to deal with this Haas, who is way faster than him, putting pressure on behind. He's not even trying to put pressure on him. X's spot has no reason to really, be aggressive against the Alpine, but it's still going to be a
contact
for him.
Ocean Line and Trey made contact. Ocean Line was clearly ahead of Trey heading into the chicane, but Trey just turns in on him, but somehow Ocean Line took the spot, but then he gave it back to Trey, and he's got a 3-second time penalty for it.
CVTX Max has gotten a 3-second time penalty in the last 2 laps.
Oh.
So the gap is now a solid 10.2 between the leader and Mask. Mask just needs to complete this lap, and he is going to win this race using the oldest, worst soft tire compounds we have seen all day today, and it's going to be really weird as they cross the line also, because Herbinator has had 10 laps on his softs, Veloce has 14 laps on his softs as well, so they're not going to be feeling very good. And then, not to mention, time penalties are really going to shake up the race order as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very much indeed. Hopefully, is Ocean Line going to try and get Trey again? Using up every ounce that DRS is not close enough into the DRS range of the Alfa Romeo, unfortunately.
X hits the spot, goes back by the Alpine again, so he will be finishing this race on the lead lap. As they go through the final corner, Meat Burl is going to win here at Montreal. Who?
Beastion's gone. Beastion spun out in the AlphaTauri.
And that will promote Trey and Ocean Lion into the positions ahead of him. CVTX Mask was able to come home second, but he's 8.3 seconds out of the lead. Here comes Gusty in the Haas, so one of the Haas's will finish on the podium, but will he hold on to it when the time penalties are added up afterwards? Because here comes Ali in 4th in the Red Bull, who also had a lot of time penalties. Where will Ali finish? 4th, here comes Blau. Blau goes on to 3rd, so if Ferrari does finish on the podium, Kinsey Retro out of the final corners, will he be able to promote up at all in the grid ordering? Kinsey will finish 5th. Here comes Herbinator. Out of the final corner, when it comes to penalty count back, he will come up into the... No, he'll stay 7th. Veloce is going to finish 8th, I imagine. Raptor should hold on to 9th without issue. And good job to X hits the spot. He will make sure that both Haas's finish in the points paying positions. Oh, Ocean Lion takes 11th, Trey 12th. BCN will come by in 13th. But for HSR Meat Burl, a very nail-biting, dominant win here at Montreal. I'm going to go ahead and say I think Meat Burl could potentially get driver of the day, considering that he came back from basically getting the race turned on its head against him due to a safety car, and he came back from that to still win here. I think a driver of the day nomination for him is very, very possible.
Yeah, I think he did well to come back from what happened with that safety car and just get a good result. So, brilliant stuff on him.
We're going to try and invite him into the party and hear what he has to say about his outstanding victory here. Alright, and coming into the party right now is your race winner, HSR Meat Burl. Meat Burl, go ahead, include your audio. Dominated Q1, dominated Q2, dominated Q3, dominated the first half of this race, and you come home to take the win. Walk us through your day, please.
Yeah, I mean, this one hasn't been too bad now, has it? I was quite comfortable in my pace. Also, so yeah, qualifying of course went how it did. Plan was to do 2 stops, but yeah, felt like tires were good enough for medium to soft. Safety car, kind of unfortunate timing, but yeah, made it work, and yeah, just focused on bringing it home at the end. So all in all, very, very good result. Very happy with that, of course.
Alright, I do have to ask, in those last laps, was there any concern about the tires failing on you?
Those concerns were mostly early on when I didn't really know like how much the tire wear was per lap. Once I kind of figured that out, I was never in any actual worry. There was a bit through the middle, and of course, when the tire falls off, you're worried. But I was never that worried. I know I had a good buffer anyway, so. As long as I brought it over the flag, I was confident I was gonna get this.
Alright, well, it was an outstanding victory here for Alpine. Also, congratulations on your very, very thorough domination throughout qualifying as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Well, that will pretty much wrap up our broadcast here of XRL Dev at Montreal. Torpedo, do you have anything else to say looking back at this race?
No, not really.
Well, later on today will be XRL. Now, we've said before, and I'll say it again, XRL, which will be about an hour after this is over, has been dealing with a really, really bad scenario. Everyone in this league has been, but XRL has been hit very badly when it comes to the various glitches that this game has been afflicted with. So they're doing a mini 3-race championship. Today will be the 3rd of that mini 3-race championship. And that will be at Albert Park. So it's not going to be Montreal like we're seeing most of the other races in XRL being at right now. But it will still be something interesting to watch. Albert Park will be getting renovations for the next game, but we're still going to be racing at Classic Albert Park later today for that. But anyways, I've been Same Leader 13. I've been joined by XRL Torpedo. Torpedo, real quick question. Do you think you'll be able to join tomorrow for X3 and we can do it all over again?
Yes, we will.
Alright, well, that's the word from Torpedo. Again, Torpedo's been great to be able to work with you again. Being able to do it twice in a week is a great way to kind of, make up for the times that we missed, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, well, anyways, in an hour's time, XRL, and then tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time on the main channel, this channel will be X1, hosted by Kinsey Retro. On the alternate channel will be X3 with the 2 of us again, and then 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow will be X2. All of those races tomorrow will be at Montreal, and we'll be looking forward to you then. Till then, though, sayonara.